everybody, welcome. It's Saturday. It's What's in the Box time. Took 2 weeks off and I slept loads. How have you been? Pubs are open now. They've been open since 6 a.m. this morning. So let's see how drunk our guests are today. We've got one returning guest and one brand new guest. I'm very excited to introduce him to the show. He is like one of my improvisation idols. I saw him as part of Whose Line Is It Anyway live in the Edinburgh Fringe show and Paul Merton's Impro Chums as well. And he's very, very good. But first, we're going to welcome our returning reigning champion. She always gets double figures in points. It is Kate Smurthwaite. Hello, Kate.
Hello, Frizz. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm a little hungover, but I'm wearing my flowery shirt and I've got
the pub's only opened at 6 a.m. You went straight there.
Of course, I was camping overnight, mate. That's what I was doing.
The first wedding at 1 minute past midnight, and you're the person who got the first hangover.
Of course. That's how this works. What have you been up to since you last dominated the show with your points?
Oh, with my terrible points. I mean, there's not much news really. There's, my job's still illegal, which is a shame, isn't it? Because it's perfectly safe to go to the pub. But if anyone wants to tell a joke at the pub,
yeah. I love the phrase, my job is illegal. I might use that instead of, oh, comedy stopped. That's brilliant. Right, we are going to bring on our second guest of the day, and I'm very, very excited. It's the only Richard Vranch. Hello, Richard.
Hello, Kate. Hello, Frizz.
Hello. How have you been doing during these lockdown times?
Oh, it's been tough, I have to say. I'm lucky that I've got a garden, so I can at least nip outside, and that's been very good. And I've seen a couple of nice people at the proper distance in parks, so that's been really lovely too. But I'm kind of staying on my own, and I've sort of run the gauntlet of the corner shop, which I've single-handedly kept in business by buying all the wine.
Very good. We appreciate supporting local businesses. Right, we've got the gang together. We're going to start with round one.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Round one is called What's in the Box. I have a slick black box with a mystery item inside. It is up to you, though, to guess what is in the box. Kate, we're going to go with you first. Kate, what do you think is in the box?
I think that what is in the box is a mountain survival kit.
A mountain survival kit. I like that a lot. And Richard Vranch, what do you think is in the box today?
Well, it's quite a small box. I know you've done a few of these, so I reckon you've got through all the things that are to hand in your house. So I reckon it's something obscure that you might have used once at present. So I'm going to go for a tarot card.
A tarot card. Oh, I like that as well. I don't think I've ever received a tarot card. I once had a friend who was really into tarot readings, and all she ever predicted was, oh, something good's going to happen to you. I thought, how many of those readings can you do before, it just doesn't work. Anything good that happens, you'll think, oh, she said it would. Anyway, the answer, what is in the box? Can I get a drum roll, please? It is a yarmulke that my mum got me when I was 9. None of my family are Jewish. But yes, nice little present there. Kate, you thought it was a mountain surviving kit.
I still do, yeah.
Please explain why your guess was the closest.
Well, a lot of people think when you go up a mountain, you might get cold, you might get hungry, you might be thirsty, you might need, a first aid kit. There are a lot of things people imagine that you might need when you go up a mountain. But I think you perhaps failed to listen carefully to what I was actually saying. When I said mountain survival kit, I wasn't trying to make sure that you survived. This is very much to take care of the mountain. What you do is you pop your little hat on top of the mountain to keep its poor little peak all toasty and warm and safe from snows and blizzards and EasyJet pilots. And this protects the whole mountain right the way through the winter season. So it is a complete mountain survival kit.
I love that. I love that a lot. Richard, your guess was a tarot card. Please explain why your guess was the closest.
Well, I thought it was obvious. The tarot cards are very beautifully designed, very colourful, and they have a symmetry to them, like up one way, up the other way. You can both see what it is because of you and the tarot reader. This hat clearly is a design of a tarot card, but what exactly does it predict? Now, you said good things are always going to happen from your previous readings. Well, maybe the good thing's about to happen. This program will take off, become an international hit. you'll be extremely famous, and you'll be asked by BBC One to go on Who Do You Think You Are? And as has happened to some of their guests, they discover an ancestry they weren't expecting. You discover that, in fact, you are Jewish. The hat is perfectly useful, and it predicted all those events.
Oh, that was beautiful, Richard, and that all tied up together. Sadly, only one person gets 3 points in this round, and the points do have to go to Richard because that was beautiful. And yes, I do also hope that I become really famous one day. BBC, if you're watching, commission this show. It costs nothing to make. It's time for round 2.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Round 2 is called Thanks, I Hate It. And my guests have prepared their own boxes with their own items in. They're going to pull out an item from that box and gift it to the other contestant. It's then up to that other contestant to explain why it's the worst gift they could possibly be given. They started saying, thanks, I hate it, and then the whole diatribe of why it is the worst gift. We're going to start with Richard for this round, which means, Kate, an item from your box is going to be gifted to Richard. What is that item?
This is a unicorn-shaped bath plug. So this bit floats around in your bathtub, and this bit stops the water piddling out the bottom.
Oh, that seems like...
Explain how a bath plug works. You're familiar with bath plugs, right?
You'd be surprised at our audience. But Richard, this seems like a cute, useful gift. Please explain why it's the worst gift.
It does seem like that, but they say it's the thought that counts, but no. Unicorns really are offensive. Obviously, what they're supposed to represent rainbows and peace and all those lovely. But the thing is, they don't exist. They really don't. I mean, we've got narwhals, the nearest we've got, but you don't get rainbow narwhals. It's one of those things that gives hope, but it's hopeless because it's like the crock of gold. Why is it a crock of gold at a rainbow? You only get 2 things in crocks, and that's shit and gold. but because the unicorn doesn't exist, I always feel so sorry. And if I was in the bath there and it was floating, just how that would be floating in front of me, holding. So I knew where the plug hole was. I grant you, it's a good indicator, like a plug hole boy, if you will. But it's just the hopelessness of the non-existent unicorn means. I would be crying into my bath. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Weirdly, Plughole Boy was my nickname at grammar school. Next up is Kate, which means an item from your box, Richard. What is the item you are gifting Kate?
Well, Kate, this is just the best present ever. So happy present day. And it's a large bulldog clip.
Bulldog clip, again, another useful one. But Kate, explain to me why you hate this gift.
Well, I mean, it's 2020, Frizz, and like everybody of right mind and right conscience, I have been moving towards a paperless office. I believe that printing, despite the presence of a printer behind me, I believe that printing is the work of the devil, and that we must all work to go online. And when you see a clip like that, it's got that firm springiness, and you just know that you could gather up a bunch of bits of paper, notes, ideas for future shows, and you could put them in there, and it just becomes so tempting to hit the print button, and you know that once you've done it, you'll come back and regret it, and you'll look outside where the trees used to be, and you'll know that it was the worst present.
Oh, you've described an episode of The Twilight Zone. I can just imagine it panning back to all the trees gone, and the ironic twist is what you were printing was how to save the trees. Oh, Charlie Brooker, get in touch. We've got the next series of Black Mirror already. Right, I've got points to give out. Richard, as I loved your analogy of the only thing that comes in Crocs. I'm giving you 2 points. Also, elderly men who just like a nicer airy shoe. They also come in Crocs. And
they're called Crocs. I only found out very recently. It's because they're amphibious and you can wear them on land and in water, like crocodiles.
Sorry, I thought you meant the crock of gold was amphibious. That you only just found out that was called a croc.
No, shoes.
Speaking of it, you mentioned earlier how printing is the work of the devil, and my ex who did the tarot readings, her mum was convinced that sweet potatoes were the work of the devil and refused to have them in their house. It was just a pretty odd family. Kate, I'm giving you 3 points for that. I love the idea of how you've just written an episode of The Twilight Zone, and that's one I'd like to watch. It's time for round 3.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Round 3 is the music round, which has changed its name. It's now called Featured Artist. I've literally gone through every single compilation CD I have and have ran out of games. So now I'm going to pick a singer and do a game about them. Today's featured artist is my favourite. It is Weird Al Yankovic. I wouldn't be doing my comedy without the inspiration of him. What I've got here are 9 track titles. Some of them are completely fake and not Weird Al songs. Some of them are genuine Weird Al songs. There's 9 in total. The one with the most at the end wins that round. So we're going to start with Kate for this one. Kate, please, a number between 1 and 9.
I will take 9, please.
Number 9 is My Corona. Has Weird Al written and recorded a topical song called My Corona?
Yeah, I reckon he has.
He has not, and he's actually gone on record to refuse that he'll ever do that because of the amount of requests he's been getting. Richard, please.
I just want to request it.
Please, a number between 1 and 8, Richard.
1, please.
Number 1, Living La Vida Polka.
Oh, now that is very plausible because you could do it as a polka, I suppose, couldn't you? I'm going to say yes, it is a Weird Al.
It was not, I'm afraid. I just made that up for today's game. Kate Smurthwaite, a number between 2 and 8.
I'll take 8.
Number 8, Girls Just Wanna Have Lunch. Is that a Weird Al song?
You see, they're just also plausible. I feel like we're just I mean, anything could be a Weird Al song. I'm going to go, yes, it is.
It is a Weird Al song, in the sense that his album publisher would not let him release an album unless he'd had a parody of Girls Just Want to Have Fun. So he wrote this in like half a morning, and when you hear him sing it, he's really not putting the effort in. He's literally phoning it in. And yeah, it's just a very interesting story. Give that a listen, and it doesn't have the same Weird Al tones as you'd expect. What was that? Was that number 8? Richard, a number between 2 and 7, please.
2, please.
Number 2, Buckingham Blues.
Wow, I can't even see what song that's a parody title of.
It might be an original.
Does he do originals?
He does. Half his albums, they're original songs and parody songs, usually interlacing.
Well, given that I haven't got a clue from the information I've just received, I'll say yes, it is one of his originals.
It is, and not only that, he originally wrote it as a parody of Charles and Diane. Little ditty about Chuck and Diane. It was originally written to that cadence, and it was about Prince Charles and Diana. But then, yeah, the original artist would refuse.
But then they split up, and he had to reword it.
Yeah, no, he kept the same words. He just changed the tune, so now it's an original song. But you can sing it to the tune of that. Kate, please, a number between 3 and 7.
I'll take 7.
7, Toothless People.
The Toothless People. Is it? I don't know if I've got the right. Which one? It could be a lot. I'm doing Common People. Oh, I want to live with toothless people like you. No, I don't think you do a pulp cover. I mean, it could be his song about the British, couldn't it? There's that. It's conceivable, but I reckon you made it up.
No, Toothless People sadly is a Weird Al song. It is a parody of Ruthless People by Mick Jagger, which was the soundtrack to the film of the same name. Now, when he was writing this, Ruthless People had a lot of advertising, so he thought, well, this is obviously going to be the next big song, wrote a parody of it, but then the song never charted. So as far as people who don't know the original are concerned, that's an original song from Weird Al, but it is actually a parody. Oh, I love this. It's facts about my favourite artist. Right, Richard, a number between 3 and 6.
3, please.
3, Polka Face.
Now, I missed that on the polka last time, so this time I'm going to say yes. It's Poker Face. Yeah.
You are correct. Yes, it's a medley of songs from that era, and he's called it Polka Face. What was that one? Number 3. Kate, a number between 4 and 6.
I'll take 6.
I'm spotting a pattern here. Angry White Boy Polka.
A number between something and something. You never have to say, but not 3 or 2 or this. It's like you're just closing.
No,
the...
I appreciate that.
Ex-mathematicians here.
Yeah.
Isn't everyone ex-mathematician, surely? Because once you've finished studying it, you're not studying it anymore.
And then you become a Y mathematician.
I like that. That's probably the title of the episode.
About all this.
Kate, Angry White Boy Polka. Did Weird Al do a song?
You see, I feel like because I don't see that it's a parody of something, so I feel like it's the sort of subject we would. So I'm going to say yes, it is.
It is from his 2003 album Poodle Hat. It is a polka medley of like Rage Against the Machine, Eminem. A lot of angry white boys were around at the time, and yeah, he's put them in a medley. I heartily recommend it. Richard, 4 or 5?
Got to be 4.
4. Oops, I farted again.
Oh, now I don't know how rude that word is in America, so whether he'd get away with it, but that's my only. Yes, it is. Yes,
it is not. When LimeWire started and various streaming sites and file sharing sites, this was misattributed to Weird Al, but it was just actually someone recording it in their bedroom trying to get people to hear it. So yeah, that's the other one. Right, we have got one left, Kate, and it is "I'm the Only Gay Eskimo."
No, that's Phil Nichols' song.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. It's Porky and the Juice Pigs.
Unless he was covering Weird Al Yankovic, but I don't believe he was. I think that's original Phil Nichols.
You are correct. It was another one that was misattributed to Weird Al back in the days. Now, I saw Phil Nichols a couple years ago, not realising it was Phil Nichols, and he did I Turned My Grandma Into a Skateboard, and I watched that and I thought, he's just copying Corky and the Juice Pigs. How dare he try and get away with that? And it's only last week I realised, oh, that was actually Phil Nichols from Corky and the Juice Pigs. Play along. It's not my fault that he's aged beautifully. It is time for round 4.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Round 4 is another improv round. I will be giving a problem to Richard and Kate, and it's up to them to try and solve the problem, but they have to solve it using one of the items in their boxes. To make it even harder, they're going to pull up the items first before I give them the problem. So, get your items ready.
Okay. You know, my housemate made this, so I don't know what's in here. So I'm gonna...
Yes, Kate is a regular player of What's in the Box, and she always goes in blind, so she doesn't know what's in the box herself. She just makes it harder for herself and everyone.
I pulled something out. I feel like I do know what it is now. It's in my hand, but I'm like, okay.
I've heard you say that before, Kate. Kate, what is the object in your box?
It's a condom. In fact, now I look at it, it's an extra large condom. Which is going to solve a lot of problems. I don't know what problem you've got for me, but this seems like it will probably solve a lot of things. The worst thing is lockdown's been going on so long that not only is it a condom, it's slightly dusty.
I hope it's not dusty inside, because
a deep metaphor about how long it is since everybody had any deep action.
That's like those short stories. For sale, dusty condom, never used.
Oh yes, yeah, that was Hemingway, wasn't it? Yes. Richard Vranch, what's the item in your box? Oh my lord!
Aha!
Shiny disco ball. I love it.
Little
I
ball.
love it. Where did you get that?
Oh God knows, I got loads. It's part of my camping equipment. You know, for when you go at festivals and things.
Lovely. The problem that I would like you to solve is every time that I go visit my sister's house and she serves chicken, her cat will always like claw me because the cat is wanting the chicken. Can you please solve this problem for me using your items? We're going to go with Richard first using your shiny disco ball. Please solve my problem.
Have you ever seen a cat confront a glitter ball? This is just a no-brainer. This is the obvious. Every little dot of light coming up. You can't quite see it because of the way the lighting is set up in this room, but it is every single one of those dots of light will be more interesting to that cat than anything you put in front of it, including food, people, other cats. Really, this actually is the perfect thing. I don't really have to improvise or bend any logic. It's just the winner.
No, you're right. You're right. Very confident as well at the end there. And yes, we did see some light going on in the background. And weirdly, I was distracted thinking, what's that then? So that's proof that your object works. No, I didn't pour at the computer screen, luckily. Eventually, my brain kicked into gear. I have established that I'm a little hungover today. Kate, Smurthwaite, my cat problem. She keeps clawing me every time I have chicken. How is your condom going to help?
Well, I mean, I just think that Richard's taking a very superficial, short-term look at this problem. You know, ultimately, what you need to solve your problem, Chris, is this extra large condom. Now, it's absolutely huge. I don't want to, you know, insult your masculinity here, Chris, but the fact is, it's not going to fit. It's going to be way too big. It's going to be completely the wrong size. You use this condom, and of course, it doesn't work. The net result being that whatever lucky individual you're having sex with quickly becomes pregnant. You have 2 or 3 children of your own, and then you don't have to go round to your sisters for dinner. To visit family because you've got your own family. If anything, she has to come to you now because look at all the kids running around the nursery, all the little frizzes, and all you needed to achieve that was one ill-fitting condom.
Oh, I don't want to picture any little me's, if that's all right. We've got an audience participation condom over the cat's head. It'll moonwalk away. If any of you have cats with you, please try that out. Send me video footage, and we'll pop it over the end credits if that's a thing. I've got points to dish out. Richard, because I was genuinely distracted, proving that your item works, I gave you 5 points for that. Kate, you are correct. That condom will not fit me, but implying that it won't fit me is still an insult, so I'm only giving you 4. That's the end of that round. It's time for round 5.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Round 5 is called 23 seconds. I will be asking my participants to name as many objects from their specialist subject as they can in 23 seconds. And the maximum points is however many objects that they say that fit the criteria. The person in first place always goes first, which today is Richard. Richard, what is your specialist subject?
Well, because I do a hula hoop act with a hula hooper called Pip with the Ripper, and it's all about the periodic table. You know, you put electrons on the hoop. So I'm going to go with the periodic table.
Okay, here is Richard Vranch saying as many periodic table things as he can in 23 seconds starting now.
Okay, so it's hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, chlorine. Then it's sodium, potassium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, oxygen, fluorine. Then we've got potassium and calcium and yttrium and blah, blah, blah. I've stopped.
Yes, that is all of that. I didn't count the last one. I don't know the full periodic table, but I'm pretty sure black, black, blum isn't an actual element.
No.
Also, it reminded me of that Tom Lehrer song. But yeah, very, very good, Rich.
Well, that was pretty much in order, I think, as well.
Yes, it was. It was very good. It was very good. Very strong opening there.
Table, but just the sounds of the letters, then I could just go, hey, Libber Knopfny, Navgal Snipskler.
Yeah.
I'm already tallying your points, Kate.
I don't know, but I'm just sitting in chemistry lessons and it always being up there, hey, Libber Knopfny, Navgal Snipskler.
The third one's harder. It begins Packard.
My favourite is that there's one called Nubium or something. It's got like 4 uns at the beginning. That's very weird. They're just making them up now. They're just making them up. Kate.
That was good, to be fair.
Kate, what is your specialist subject that you're going to wow us with today?
Okay, today my specialist subject is things that Boris Johnson has done wrong about the coronavirus.
Oh, sadly, we've only got 23 seconds, but they are starting now.
Not attending SAGE meetings, not locking down early enough, not listening to the scientists, not doing a proper lockdown, not closing the airports in time, catching coronavirus himself, giving it to his pregnant girlfriend, letting his special advisor go to Durham, letting him do an eye test, letting him do a press conference from the thing, not having a track and trace app, not doing enough to encourage people to be able to stay at home home, not funding people, not supporting theatres and other venues when they're trying to be surviving during lockdown, not providing enough PPE for healthcare workers, not finding...
That is time, but what I'm going to do is during the end credits, you can complete your list, and I'll just play the titles on top of it. We've got points to dish out. For the first time, she hasn't won. It's the wonderful Kate Smurthwaite with 24 points, still pretty bloody good. Kate, whilst you're here, is there anything that you would like to plug?
I have my ongoing online show on Patreon. It's called Music Kate. We'll put the link up somewhere. And you can also download my solo show from last year, Clip Sarah.
Beautiful. All links in the description below. And Richard, you won first timer with 33 points. That was fantastic. Richard, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Well, unusually, yes. I'm in the improv group, the Comedy Store Players, and we've been going for 35 years. And this week is only the second time we're releasing one of our shows filmed with an audience before lockdown. We're releasing it as a download. So it's comedystorelive.co.uk, comedystorelive.co.uk, and it's Comedy Store Players live show.
Lovely. Again, that link will be in the description below. One more time, I've been Frizz Frizzle. Thank you to my guest, Kate Smurthwaite, and the wonderful Richard Vranch. I'm so excited that he's here. Now, can everyone wave during the end credits? And Kate, you can complete your list if you'd like.
Just literally everything. Doing everything wrong. Being a terrible Prime Minister. The worst thing he's done is not resign.
Bromine.